What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Elf Knight FA here, bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gameplay. This time we're gonna do a little tutorial on the game mode Safeguard, and today's tutorial is gonna cover defense. And this is how I like to break up defense. I like to split it up into three phases. First is the initial phase where the robot is, semi in the enemy spawn. Second is mid-level, so he's probably gone halfway through the map. And the third is that last push as the robot is maybe 10-20 meters away from the goal, and your team is backed up and trying everything to stop them. So the initial clips, you're going to see the robot is semi in the spawn, and basically what I like to do is either bring a quick SMG or a relatively quick assault rifle on maps where you can get to good locations where you can get the overlook and maintain the enemy spawn, like what I do here. I'm basically going to shoot down because I know they're spawning in that bridge, and I'm going to keep shooting there and maintain that location. Here's another area. If you want to go quick in the beginning of the game, like an aquarium, it's a smaller map, basically rush to spawn, flank them in the back, and you can pick off at least 2 or 3 guys here and there. But again, it's not gonna, it's not for sure strategy. You're gonna get killed sooner or later just because they are gonna spawn and back you. But there's 2 strategies for that rushing. One is to find the midpoint between the spawn and the robot and hold them off there, or the second is to rush spawn. And really, if you can cause havoc there, then the enemy has to worry about not only escorting the robot, but there's this damn one guy in our spawn. He keeps killing me. So those are the 2 strategies for the opening rush. And as you see, when the gameplay transitions to the midpoint in the game, I like to be a little bit more careful because, at this point, you don't really know where the enemy is going to be. As you see, I'm back in Infection. Oh, that's a beautiful wall, by the way, just like that movie Inception. But anyways, you don't know where the enemy is going to be. Right now, it's midpoint, so they can come over and flank you while you're flanking them. And basically, I don't want to leave my teammates open to flanks, especially when I'm flanking myself. So right here, I'm going to stay in the middle of the map. I may go all the way around to that tower in the back and look and shoot them down a couple of times. But for the most part, this is really the most important part in the game mode for defense, because you want to keep them there because you know where they're going to spawn. As long as you don't go into their spawn 24/7 and really mess it up, you know where they're going to spawn. You have the advantage because they have to, come out in the open, especially if that's the second strategy. You leave the robot in the opening. You don't always have to shut it down, but you do want to keep it low enough health where in case you're panicking and they're all coming, you can just take out the robot and end their streak right there. But you want to leave the robot in the opening, and you want to force the enemy's members to have to die continuously in the opening just to get that push back into a covered area. So you see here, I'm overlooking. I know where they're going to spawn. I know they're going to come and back me here and there, and I'm listening to my mic right there as I hit that guy. So it's good to have a assault rifle for that strategy when you're playing the midpoint of the game, and to at least have maybe a pistol in the back in case you need to pull it out quickly. So you're gonna see right here, I am in their spawn, and I know they're gonna spawn behind me, just because that's the point. And I'm in right here. See, take out a couple guys, and I know they're gonna spawn, but at this point I need to maintain this spot where the robot is. And although I die, at least I know. You can see that you're doing a good job when you spawn back in your spawn, because that means the enemies really haven't flanked you and you can continue your flank. So I honestly, in defense, I do like playing defense for Safeguard much more, just because it allows you to get much more kills, because you can kill hard because all you have to do is defend. It's kind of like when you camp in the back of the map on Domination and the enemies, or in Demolition, and they just keep coming your flag mindlessly. I mean, you can't do anything about it if you're on offense, just because the only way you're going to win is if you escort that robot, and it's going to result in you dying a lot. But since this is defense tutorial, hey, you might as well rack up those kills. For score streaks, you can run whatever you want. You want to run the high kill streaks if you can get to them. But, the simple UAV is the best, just because you want to let your teammates know exactly where all the enemies are and things like that. Here I am in their spawn again. Right now, see, I activated my kinetic armor just because I knew they were going to spawn and back me, just based off what happened in previous outings in this map. So, I'm going to stay in this area because, again, I know they're going to, right there, they all spawn and back me, but, again, I'm able to stop the guy closest to the robot, which is most important because, you do want to prevent him from running. So here's the final time. This is the final phase of the defense. You can see the robot's literally maybe 20 feet away. And basically now I'm going to put myself in back of the robot and try and prevent any of the enemies from, making it close, getting that last push. And it's going to result in more deaths just because you're getting backed up now, as you see in these last clips. And we're being pushed back, but I don't know if we win this round or not because, sometimes you don't win, sometimes you win based on your teammates. And so there's two options. You can either flank and just stay in front of the robot the whole time, or flank completely. And as you see here, I'm going to keep pushing, preventing any other last players from getting to the map. And yeah, that's how it works for defense right there. There's going to be a couple final clips maybe on Aquarium showing like the really franticness of the last seconds of defense seen in this last clip, where the robot's literally right there and I'm just spraying and praying to God that I can stop it from getting there, just because the enemies are literally spawning right next to us. And this is the chaoticness that I love of Safeguard, because everyone's right around the robot. It's easy kills, it's fun, it's fast paced, especially on a smaller map, but it can be fun on the bigger maps too, depending on how many players are playing and how many are playing the objective and things like that. So I hope this little quick tutorial of the 3 phases of Safeguard really helped you guys out. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Shoots.